when you came to Austin, how long you've been here. Let's start really general about that before we get into things.
Yeah, I moved to Austin when I was in like middle school, like eighth grade. And I fell in love with the city. It's so much better than Louisiana was. I've never been to a city quite like Austin. I love it here. Um, it's so beautiful. I love the geography. I love the culture. I love the people. There's so much cultural density in Austin. Anywhere you go, you'll look around and you'll see just so much different stuff. There's always so much to explore. It's a nice, clean city. There's not a lot of crime. Uh, so yeah, it's a really nice place to be. I love the food. I love Austin.
Seth, I want to talk about also one last question before we get into it. That area right there at Auditorium Shores, the trail, it's a really popular area. Do you visit there often? What were you kind of doing that day? Were you on a run? Like, tell me a little bit about the morning.
Yeah, I visit there pretty often. Just I like to walk around. In a lot of that area, it's just nice, pretty place. That day I woke up early and wanted to go out on a nice morning walk, and I thought, that's an easy place to go. It'll just be nice and pretty. I'll get to see the water and stuff. And I go there pretty often. I've been there hundreds of times before.
So, Seth, I want to now obviously lead into Tuesday morning, I believe it was. But I want to lead into that morning. Obviously, you just said, you got up early, wanted to see the city, the water, all of that.
Mhm.
Kind of described to me. We know where it was. It was right there, really in the middle of Auditorium Shores at the front. If you don't mind, just sort of walking me through sort of what led up and where this man came from, all of those things.
Yeah, so I had already pretty much finished my walk. I was walking back to that parking lot to get to my car. Um, I had my earbuds in. I had my hood up because it was kind of cold that morning. I was just walking, listening to music. Um, and all of a sudden, I feel like somebody kind of shoulder checks me from behind almost. It just feels like somebody bumped into me, maybe with like a stick or something in their hand. And I wasn't really sure what, was going on. But when they did it, they had done it, they were moving so fast that they kind of fell in front of me. Um, and so I just kind of put my hands up. I was like trying to make sure that they didn't mistake me for somebody else because I had my hood on, I got a big jacket on. I wanted to, be sure, there was anything happening. I didn't realize, what was going on until he had turned and I saw the machete in his hand, right? Um, and even then, it didn't really seem real until he went and swung again, and I kind of put out my hand just instinctively, and when it cut through my hand, it was that was when it kind of set in what was going on.
It's really easy in situations of trauma like this also to black out. So, of course, you may have things that you don't even remember. We do have some eyewitnesses that say, once they realized what was going on and they were able to lock eyes with you, it was just almost like the guy was relentless. Do you remember once after that first bit, was he just still going at it? Tell me about that.
He did. It was probably a minute long altercation, and during that minute, there was almost no pause in the swinging. He hit me maybe 10 or 15 times, but he swung a lot more than that. It was pretty relentless, which was so terrifying. He didn't say anything or make any faces, but he did not stop or back away from me, or as I was running, he chased me down like his life depended on you know ending mine. It was definitely scary to see the amount of tenacity he had at ending my life. It was pretty terrifying.
But there has to be a moment where you feel like, am I about to make it? What's running through your head? This came out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
um I think immediately after he started hitting me, I was just thinking, okay, I need to get away. um but when I ran, I realized that first bump was him cutting across my back, and I lost my balance and fell. Um, and when I was on the ground, he ran up to me, and I kind of held my hand up. I was like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing? And that was the only moment during the altercation where he paused, and just for a second he kind of held up the machete and paused for a second as I said it. And it almost looked like he thought about it for a second. But then he just kept going. And when he swung again after that, that was when I realized that there isn't really a reason at all. It's just, I am going to die. Um, that was when it kind of set in. And throughout that experience, for the following, I don't know, there was probably 40 more seconds of him going at me. It was, I was pretty confident that, that was just going to be how I died. Uh, Especially after he started hitting me in the head. I got hit 3 times in the head. Um, and during when he hit me with one of them, I fell to the ground immediately, and everything got really hazy and woozy. It felt like I was about to lose consciousness right then. And that was probably the scariest it had gotten.
Seth, I just have a couple more. People on Reddit that were there, people on social media talking about, there was a man came to you quickly with a tourniquet, ripped his shirt off. I
Mhm.
don't know if you saw, but we spoke with the man as well who made the call to 911. He started being chased by the guy with the machete. To see, and you would hope this is an obvious reaction from people around you trying to help you, but to see those people really spring in, no matter if they're in danger either, how did that feel for you? Of course, in the moment, but looking at it now, how does that feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in the moment, there was this immediate sense of community almost. The second, like I was on the ground, after he had hit me in the head, I was on the ground and he was swinging at me over and over. And I really thought that was it until that man had made that call and yelled at him, and absolutely saved my life. When he started leaving me and started chasing that guy, um, all of the other people who were there rushed to my side. Yeah, like put on tourniquets on both of my arms, um, and helped calm me down and kept me awake and conscious while we waited for the ambulance. And I can't thank any of those people enough. I mean, without their help, I absolutely would not have made it. Um, and they made it. I felt immediately like I had uh, everybody wanted to help me. You know, uh, like even though there was this one person who really wanted to end my life, there were 20 other people there who were doing everything in their power to save it.
Absolutely. My last question is, and this one's a hard one too, but you know, what do you, as you look for, I mean, you're done, after this has happened, you're now in the hospital. It seems like you're in great spirits. Um, but this doesn't feel, I could assume, like the Austin that you know and love. Does this feel like something that's come out of nowhere? Are you worried moving forward, or are you just kind of in the moment of just being grateful?
Well, it absolutely was a shock, right? I have family all over, all over the United States, and a lot of them live in more dangerous areas. And it was everybody told me it was a surprise that I was the one, here who it happened to. Um, it definitely was a shock, uh, especially coming out of the blue randomly like that. But I think when we have so many people who don't have access to mental health resources, um, who we can't tell if they're going to have issues like this because they don't have access to hospitals who can maybe help them or prevent this, or say this person should not be out on the street with a machete. um, I don't think anything comes from nowhere. I think this guy didn't come out of the womb wanting to randomly kill people on the street. So I think that there are things that we can do and resources that we can invest in to prevent more attacks like this, um, because other people won't be as lucky as I was.
That's such a mature answer too, after everything you just went through. Seth, and I assume if it's mom or dad or whoever's behind the camera, if you're comfortable and you can say no, can we see? I mean, I assume you're bandaged up. Can we just see some of, that?
Yeah,
If y'all just
absolutely.
move around. Okay, thank you.
Show the like
And you
injuries.
can just kind of describe your injuries too. So obviously we see your arms are bandaged
So
up.
my right arm is has the worst of the injuries. The artery and One of the arteries and the nerve and tendons on the right side of my right arm were severed. I have multiple deep lacerations along the arm. I've lost feeling in two of the fingers, but we're hoping I have another surgery on Friday that they can repair the. They've already repaired the artery. They're hoping they can repair the nerve and the tendons, so I'll be able to feel and move these fingers again. This arm isn't as bad. It's just all of the fingers were kind of crushed and cut up a little bit. Um, so the bones in there have been shattered. Um, so they need to go in and kind of pin all of them together. They have to put these little metal pins inside my hand. I have lacerations along my back and along my legs, and one along my ear, above my temple on the right side of my head and the back side of my head. Um, yeah.
So pretty much all over. And Mom, this is a good angle right here. I'm gonna ask him one last question, but is this your mother? I'm assuming before I keep.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Hello, Mom. um,
Hi.
Seth, you just pretty much did an incredible job, obviously, because you've been told by doctors what's going on with you, what's been hit. What does recovery look like? It seems like you're at one of the best places, first off, when it comes to care. So that's a blessing. But do you feel like you're going to pretty much make some good recovery steps moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the doctors and nurses here have been so amazing to me. They've treated me like a king. And I've already made a lot of progress. I'm walking. I have an appointment with physical therapy later today to go walk down the halls of the hospital. Um, most of the recovery process is going to be getting my hands to back to their normal functioning. It's going to be a couple months before I can get them working, get full capacity again. But uh, other than that, it's mostly waiting for that second surgery on Friday. And yeah, they don't know the exact extent of the damage to some of my fingers or how long it might take to repair them. But it's probably going to be 3 to 6 months of physical therapy, trying to get back to a point where I can go work again and be
Yeah.
typing and using my hands for all the things that we use them for.